software on iTunes and your iPod, iPod Touch, or iPhone. Now today is February 5th of 2010, and they just released updates for both the software on iTunes and the iPods, which is really good news, especially for people like me who have been having a lot of difficulty trying to get their music to sync on iTunes. Now, if you've watched some of my other videos, you'll see that I usually use CopyTrans Manager to sync music, but sometimes I want to use iTunes because they do apps and the podcasts and some of those other things that CopyTrans can't do. So, if you've been having trouble syncing things with your iPod and iTunes, you might want to get this update, and it might take care of a lot of problems. So we're going to start here. Under the device category, you click on the name of your iPod, and you can see over here in this version, it says check for update. Now this is for the iPod software itself. This is not for iTunes. Click check for update. And it says this version of the iPod software is the current version. Had I not already downloaded it, it would have given me the option to download the software, and you just click yes and you tell it to download. Now it takes about 50 minutes to download just for the iPod software itself. Now if you want to download the iTunes software, go to Help, check for updates. And it says this version of iTunes 9.0.3 is the current version. Now 9.0.2 was the previous version, and it had some glitches in it. It seems like they fixed most of them so far in 9.0.3. This one took about an hour to download. I think it was over 100 meg. So depending on your download speed, it might vary. It installed as soon as it downloaded. You can tell it not to, otherwise I'd rather have it download and install all at the same time, get it all over with. Okay, I'm going to show you how easy it is now to drag and drop a song on. Just pick one of these, drag it over into the pane, and you can see it says copying and syncing. That's what you want to see. Previously, in the other version of iTunes, it would freeze the pane right up here and it'd say syncing, 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 and it locked up. It froze the whole computer. I had to do a Control-Alt-Delete and kill iTunes and log off or restart or whatever it took to get it so that the computer was back to normal. Thankfully, this is no longer a problem with the new version of iTunes. So it synced it, and I'm going to eject it, which also should not take very long. And it's done. So that's how easy it is with the new software to get things to work like they're supposed to. Again, if you don't have the 9.0.3 version of iTunes and the 3.1.3 version of the iPod Touch software, you're going to want to update those as soon as possible to get everything back to normal. Sometimes it's not a problem until you try to sync it again. So suppose you have iTunes updated and you don't have your iPod Touch updated, there could be some issues syncing it since they're not both updated. So if you have problems trying to do anything on iTunes, that's probably your first bet, is to check for the updates and make sure those are downloaded and installed. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.